We welcome a good friend of ours to the program, Mike Jankins, bankruptcy attorney, and of course, new year 2016 going. People trying to turn over a new leaf at times there, Mike. And you look like you have some signs that you might need to call upon someone like your services.
Well, wait till Wednesday night, because you may not. You know, if you win, you don't need the bankruptcy attorney anymore. But on Thursday,
Powerball, yeah.
On Thursday, you may need to call.
I have to get my ticket yet.
Might need to add that to your list. If you
I might not be in the office if I win.
Powerball tickets. All right, so what's your top 8 list of things we should look out for?
I couldn't come up with 10, so we've got 8 today. The top 8 signs. Number 1, if you've got so many credit cards that your kids are playing with them and building little houses with them, that's a sign you may have too much debt. You might want to give me a call. Especially if you're carrying lots of balances on those cards. I've got people that come in and they have 6 or 7 Capital One accounts. I guess they like that company. And then they'll have 6 or 7 Wells Fargo accounts. They can't even fit these cards in their wallet, so they bring them in like in a box.
That's a good sign.
That's a good sign. You might want to give me a call, because that's bad things are in store for you.
Now, is it just for people that thankfully haven't had a credit card pile up like this, been very watchful over those, but does that use it's like a snowball effect when they start piling up credit on one credit card to go to another one too?
Well, sometimes they'll just all of a sudden say, you know what, we want to consolidate these, so they'll find a card with a big balance, pay all those other ones off, and now they got one card with 20,000 on it. And that isn't such a good thing either. That kind of leads to sign number 2.
Number 2.
If you're trying to pay your credit card balances every month, we were talking about the circus in the news earlier this morning. Well, if you're juggling these like you are at Ringling Brothers, then you might need to call me. When it gets time to pay these bills, and you're going, well, which one am I going to pay now? This one, or this one? Because you can't pay them all. You might want to give me a call, because it's a bad sign for you. The third one, if you can't think of the last time that you got a paycheck where your wages weren't being garnished and you weren't getting a full paycheck, it's time to call me.
Right.
I've got people coming in all the time where we look at their paychecks and I go, you're being garnished? Yes. So is this the first time? No, I get garnished every year. I go, well, how come you didn't give me a call like 2 years ago while you were being garnished? I don't know, but then they just started piling up and everybody was garnishing me, so I have no more money, so I finally decided I better get something done. And the year to date on your paycheck, where it'll show all the different things that are coming out, we'll see garnishment, or whatever the employer designates that special item to be, and we're seeing $3,000 and $4,000 year to date. And that's already about 4 times more than the bankruptcy would have cost, and it's just unthinkable.
Is there a limit to how much they can garnish on your paycheck?
For each creditor, they can take 25% of your take-home pay.
Oh my goodness.
And they can do that. A garnishment period runs 4 months. And in the 4 months, if they've collected the amount that the law allows, there's a maximum for each calendar year, then they're done. But if they haven't collected that full amount, then they can run it again. And it's a graduated scale on the garnishments based on what your expected annual income is going to be. Starting out at the low level of $12,000 a year, then it's like $250. But then if you make over $35,000 a year, it's $2,000. And then if you make $50,000 a year or more, it's 10% of your gross annual income they can garnish in a year. So it can be pretty severe.
That's a lot of money.
So, number 4.
So number 4, if you can't sleep at night because you were served foreclosure papers and you conveniently forgot to let your spouse in on it, and it's been going on for about 6 months or so, and you're about to lose your home, you might want to get some sleep and call a bankruptcy attorney, because there might be something the attorney can do for you, like save your house and get you back on track. But again, we see this happen all the time. The spouse that's home, the husband or the wife, gets the papers. That's also the person that was kind of left with the responsibility of paying the house payments, and there wasn't enough money, and so they didn't. And because spouses don't always communicate very well when there's debt problems, it just kind of goes on and on. The one spouse has no idea the house is going away, that the house payments weren't made, it's in foreclosure, and all of a sudden, when they get notice that there's going to be a sheriff's sale, all of a sudden the tears go on, and there's a lot of drama, and now they're scrambling, trying to see, can we save our house or do something. So very stressful. Oftentimes it can lead to divorce. So don't let it get that far.
Okay.
If you get served foreclosure papers, get some help. The help isn't always costly, and sometimes it's a phone call away. So don't stay up at night not sleeping for 6 months.
Number 5.
The folder that you're putting all those medical bills in each month, if they get thick enough that you can use them as a seat cushion, it's time to call me. And it's unfortunate, when you see these medical bills, they're not always big. I mean, you get a medical bill and it's $10 here, $5 here, $100, and you don't really think anything of it. But they just keep building up, and all of a sudden, those 100 here and 100 there, now they're turning into a few $1,000s.
They all add up.
Then you get a big medical procedure, and there's big expensive tests, and all of a sudden you got $5,000, $6,000 here, and all these dinky little co-pays, they just start all building up. And we have people coming in, and they just bring a box and full of these little medical bills. And so you don't want to just keep collecting them. They're really not decorations. If you can't pay them, you might want to see a bankruptcy lawyer and get some financial advice. Maybe you can get set up on an arrangement to pay them in a Chapter 13, or if they're just too cumbersome for you to pay them, you can get rid of medical bills in bankruptcy. I still get phone calls even this week from people thinking they can't get rid of medical bills in bankruptcy. They call up and go, I got $10,000 in medical bills, but I can't get rid of those, can I? You can.
All right.
So don't let them build up.
Number 6 is right on the button here, especially this time of year.
Yeah, number 6, if you're getting more robocalls from debt collectors than you are from the political candidates, you really better give me a call, because all these 866 and 800 numbers that are popping up, they're not good things. And if you're getting tired of answering those phone calls or ignoring those phone calls, and you'd rather pick up the phone call and listen to the recordings from the different candidates, you better give me a call.
That's
it's way too many phone calls from the debt collectors. Number 7. If you can't muster the energy to pay or to open up all your bills each month, because when you go to the mailbox and there's 20 of them, I can understand that's a lot of letter opening. And so what happens is, instead of mustering up the energy, you just don't open them. And so people come to my office, they bring a suitcase almost, and they had a shake case full of bills. And I asked the people how much they add up to. I don't know. They just start taking them out one at a time. I go, so you haven't opened these yet? No, we can't pay them, so we don't even look at them anymore. Right. Wow. And a lot of them are just repeats, the same accounts for the last 6 months, bill after bill after bill, and they just haven't opened them up. Right. So if you're not opening them up anymore, don't ignore them. Call me. Otherwise, you'll be one of those people that's having those wage garnishments where you haven't seen a paycheck for a while, at least for a full amount.
And number 8 on the list.
And number 8, finally, if you finally decided, hey, we've got to get rid of these credit card debts and get them paid off and get back on the right track, so you do one of the big mistakes that we tell people not to do, and you borrow money against your home to pay them off, or borrow money against your 401k plan to pay them off. And so now you're at 0 with all the credit cards, with the accounts still open, and then a year or 2 later, you're revisiting this thing and you're back up to $15,000 in credit card debt. Number 1, or more. You didn't learn your lesson. Number 2, it's time to call me, because you are in trouble. You're starting to jeopardize your retirement plan, your home, and you're still having credit card debt problems. So you might want to think about filing for bankruptcy before you lose everything.
All right. Now, if people want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
You can just give me a call at 255-1855, or find me on the internet at www.iowa-bankruptcylaw.com, and we'll be happy to help you out.
Yeah, so any of those things ring true with anybody out there, give Mike a call. He'll be able to help you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Good job.